What's going on, gang? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon and God bless. Shout out to all the Scorpios. It's Scorpio season. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. So food stamps was supposed to touch down today. Let's give it a couple of minutes. Let all the slimes get in here. All the supporters. All the viewers. Y'all do me a favor. Make sure y'all double tap that screen. That's how you hit like. And also hit that subscription button so we can hit 40,000 subs. And then somebody randomly will win $200 live. But anyways, let's get into this food stamp situation. Drop them snakes in the chat. Drop them snakes in the chat. Let me see if the chat's working. Alright, YouTube sent out my notifications, so we should be good. Let me just join on my phone real quick. Alright, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? How y'all doing? What's going on, my boy? I see you, Time. How you doing today? So I'm just wondering, from what I've heard, food stamps was definitely supposed to go out today. 100%. Well, not today, but they were supposed to go out. Partial was sent, 50%. So I'm wondering, has anybody got their food stamps today? We'll see as more people come in. But first, I'm going to play out this video that shows you that, you know, 2 judges ordered Donald Trump to use the debt relief money, which was about $50 billion. That was going to cover everybody's food stamps, 50% at least for now. And y'all probably like, hey, Slime told me my money was going to come in today. Where the F's my money at? So I'm going to show y'all what the hold up was, or what the hold up is. Let's get into this. How you doing, Time? How you doing, my boy? Oh yeah, also don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We got alert time. And also we can get tips. No super chats, none of that. I'm not doing ads till maybe New Year's. Oh, that's cool, bro. Yup, that's where I'm at, Rhode Island. We actually had one of our people fought for us to get food stamps. A Mass person and a Rhode Island representative. But anyways, this was posted last night.
After 2 major legal decisions, the White House saying it will be providing some food stamp benefits this month. Only half, though, of what SNAP recipients usually see.
Those benefits are, of course, usually deposited into accounts on the first of the month.
What part of Rhode Island is he moving to? So I'm just going to play this video for everybody to show y'all that they said that the stamps are being sent out in 50%, and we're going to see what the delay is.
Gift because of the shutdown. 2 judges last Friday ruling that the White House must provide these benefits with money from a contingency fund. Let's go to CNN's Elena Treen, who is live at the White House. Elena, what are we learning here?
Yeah, well, what we're seeing now from these court rulings today is that the Trump administration will provide partial funding to continue one of the nation's largest, or I should say the largest, food stamp programs in the country. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which oversees the SNAP program, had initially said that they were going to be freezing the money that goes to SNAP, essentially, on November 1st. Of course, this comes during the government shutdown. They said they were running out of money, but But because these two judges had ruled that the Trump administration had to keep this program going, now we're learning that they're going to, they said in a sworn statement, the agency is going to use roughly $4.6 billion from a contingency fund to help keep this up and running. Now, $4.6 billion is only about half of the money that is needed to keep this operating full time. So we're still looking at what this could mean once we hit that point. And to be clear,
nice, Massachusetts, Seacox, like right at the borderline where I live. Yep, the governor of Mass stood up, but as you see, they're saying on CNN News, Trump will be sending out partial payments to everybody, which was supposed to come out today, but I'm going to show you what the delay was in a little bit.
This is the nation's largest food program. It serves
unless somebody could tell me first.
Americans, and of course is a major part of America's social safety net. And so this has been one of the key issues and concerns really as this government shutdown has continued. But now we're seeing
what about you, brother?
You
could get food
contingency fund to at least pay for half of the money that they would normally during this time.
And Elena, during tomorrow's off-year elections, several key races could give us sort of a glimpse of how people feel about the economy and then, of course, the administration. New polling, though, shows that voters may not be impressed with President Trump. The data finds he's hitting his lowest approval rating this term, just 37%, his highest disapproval.
What's nasty is
January 2021.
Even though the judge told Trump,
and
this what might screw us too in the long run. Even though the judges told Trump, two judges told Trump, yeah, you got to go in this relief and use that fund, he's still trying to be like, no, I'm not going to do it. That fund should be saved for a disaster or this and that. And it's really for the nutrition of starving kids, this fund. You know what I'm saying? So that's also helping. But he's like, oh, no, we're going to wait till the government opens up. So now we're in the process right now of all the computers are updating for it to process to send 50% of everybody's payment out. The computers are so old, they gotta update it, process it. So that's what the wait is. We're gonna hear this guy explain it right here. But with that wait being said, we don't know how long it's gonna take. Some people said weeks, a month. I hope not. And then some people say by then, the government could be back on. So then Trump could get what he wants. So he's like, if you guys want the food stamps, put the government back on. Because I guess the side he's fighting with, the left, whatever, I don't get into all that, are the ones, you know, saying, yeah, use the fund, the relief fund. And he's like, no, I'm not going to use it. If you want to use it, put the government back on. Bunch of bullshit. So he's kind of using food hostage against the American people, which is ridiculous.
Comes to potentially flipping Congress in next year's midterms. What is behind these numbers?
Yeah, well, one of the really interesting things about all of this, Boris and Brianna, is that, you know, White Houses normally shrug off these type of disapproval ratings, these poll numbers, but what we've seen the president do is actually entrench himself even deeper in some of the issues that this polling shows from CNN that Americans disagree with him on. For example, I would take immigration enforcement across the country. A majority of Americans, 57% in the CNN survey,
Trump's been slacking lately. I don't know who got in his ear or what. But Trump been slacking lately. Alright, so this guy, this is what he does right here. I don't know if he works in the thing, but he got documents from the Treasury, all that shit. So like I was saying, the holdup is they were supposed to send us 50% of the partial payments. But due to, like I said, the computers being so old and everything and haven't been updated in so long, they got it set for every state to only send out 50% of what they usually get to that person. You know what I mean? And that takes some coding to do. So that's what the holdup is. And he's going to explain this.
As far as how much money should be sent out, 50% is really what it is.
So with that being said, yes, the money still should be on its way. But it might take a little time.
USDA is submitting the issuance charts to states as far as how much money should be sent out. 50% is really what it is. But then what they also indicate is that these states have these databases or their algorithms, the systems in which they use to
Shout out to
distribute
everybody
this money.
tuned in. All the slimes in attendance, drop them sneaks, hit that sub button for me. Let's go.
Right? Well, the problem is they need to recalibrate these computer systems, the algorithms, the machines, whatever it happens to be. They need to recalibrate these to only send out 50% of the benefit to the beneficiaries, not the full 100%. That could take time. As indicated in the letter, some of these systems are decades old and significantly out of date. Why are we running with such out-of-date systems? I don't get it. With all the money that they have and that they blow on all kinds of
Does that make sense to you guys? That's why we haven't received our payment yet. They should have did this a week ago or something. Started working on these updates and all that. You tell me the last day when it's time to send the payments, now you decide we gotta update and code the computer? Come on.
stuff? Why do they have systems that are so out of date? I don't get that, right? What are they doing with all this money, right? Why can't they have updated systems? Anyway, that's just a quick little side note and a fast little rant from me right there. But anyway, long story short is that these systems that states have are apparently very much out of date. Okay, so what they're saying is that, well, it's going to take time for states to update these systems, recalibrate them to issue only 50% of the benefit, and then basically at that point, money can go from USDA to states, and then the payment processor can issue that money relatively quickly, but that's all going to take time, okay?
Now let me also add, remember how I said Trump wants the government to open up, right? So hopefully the back end of things, they're not trying to do all this to kill time, and then the government comes back up because the pressure or whatever. Now everybody gets 100% back their food stamps. So they trying to act like it's a good thing if that happens for us. Hey, maybe a week after the government might come back on, you might just get 100% of your food stamps and be right back on to what you were supposed to get. Yeah, but what about today? You know what I mean? In the first.
As I indicated in the live streams and in the videos yesterday, I was suggesting, hey, new update on the delivery timeline of these food stamp benefits because they need to update all of this. And this is exactly what they're talking about, is that all of this takes significant time. And originally when we were hearing, over the weekend and yesterday, we heard from the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, indicating
all this takes significant time, but they was adamant about how it would be in our accounts by the 5th, was they not? Oh, Wednesday.
Partial payments may be rolling out as early as Wednesday. Well, in the live stream that I said yesterday, as I said, Wednesday is probably a little bit hopeful at this time. Who knows? Maybe payments still roll out by Wednesday, but I'm going to say this much. I wouldn't bank on that. Based on what they're saying again, here in this letter, I wouldn't really bank on money to be rolling out and hitting EBT cards by Wednesday. They indicate weeks to months to distribute this money. Well, we also have some new information that came out today as well.
Months?
I got
holy.
We're gonna do some recording.
Like I'm saying, months? You might as well damn wait for the government to come back on. And we get the fucking whole 100%. That's that bullshit I'm talking about. If a court ordered it,
lawmakers are eyeing sometime later this week, possibly Wednesday or Thursday, or early next week, to reopen the government. Well, as I've been indicating many, many times here over the last several days and over the weekend, the best solution that we have going forward to distribute full payments to food stamp beneficiaries who have SNAP benefits, rather than these partial payments, is the reopening of...
You see, they're talking about the good thing. If we wait long enough and the government opens back up, that we'll get our full payment. Bro, we need a payment right now for the 5th. It's not me, but there's some people starving right now since, they used to getting these stamps every first for their 5 kids or how many kids they got. You talking about waiting
refunding the government, which is literally what they've been trying to do for the last 5 weeks.
Some people probably rather take half now and instead of the whole thing on the freaking 20th. Or after Thanksgiving. What's the point? Now you just can't have Thanksgiving. You can't. But look what he says.
but they can't figure out how to get out of a wet paper bag, right? So literally, we're still here in this position of a government shutdown.
What's
But
going
according
on,
to some
Tick?
information coming out today so far out of key lawmakers, they've suggested they see an ending of this sometime a little bit later this week, within the next handful of days here, or early next week is when we could actually see the government reopen, and that would fix this whole problem. We wouldn't have to worry about the
What's going on, my boy? How you doing? You see how he's talking? It's not making me have any hope that the stamps is gonna come out before the government comes back on. And that was the whole point. They were supposed to give us a partial amount to hold us off through this bullshit. Wait, am I right or wrong? That's crazy, gang.
this whole partial payment situation. We would have full payments, although there would likely be a delay to the distribution of money. It's regardless how you cut it, it looks like there's going to be a delay to the distribution of money to food stamp beneficiaries. That's just what it's looking like. Whether they reopen the government
That's true.
today, tomorrow, the next couple days here, or early next week, it looks like no matter what happens.
So this is true what he's saying. He's saying no matter what happens, it's gonna be a delay either way. Whether the government doesn't get open or the government does get open, it's still gonna be a delay because they gotta update the computers. So I guess he's saying you're better off the government just happening to come back up in 3 days, and then you get your full payment, and I guess they don't gotta do all that bullshit. But it's kind of sounding like, to me, that's the direction they trying to take, because President Trump is saying he don't want to touch the fund. That if y'all want the food stamps to put the government back on,
Happens, there's still going to be a delay to the distribution of the money. Whether it's a partial, a full payment, whatever it happens to be, it looks like there's going to be somewhat of a delay. So that's the frustrating part. But if they reopen the government in the next couple days here or early next week, the best part about that, even though there would be a delay, would actually be...
So this is why everybody y'all haven't received your food stamps yet today. Not because they're not sending it out for November, but the delay.
benefits would be paid in their entirety. Full benefits would be paid, rather than this partial payment business of, well, we'll give you a little bit here and then maybe...
Exactly, that's what it's about. Everybody's blaming the Democrats. The Democrats is blaming the Republicans. I'm like, the last couple years it's been this big shit on left versus right, and it's like they don't even give a shit what's the right thing to do anymore. They just give a shit about them being right, their side. And that's not how things should be. You know how they say united we stand, divided we fall? I think things in the world would be much better if they united and thought about it together what's fucked up with the world. Instead of not what you don't like and what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? What your bias about and what I'm biased about.
You, the rest of the payment, as in the retroactive...
Bunch of
back
irrelevant
pay for
people.
beneficiaries. We'll
Don't
see
even
what
know what's
happens here,
going
right?
on.
And again, as I've been saying for many days now, as this information continues to come across the wire, it changes multiple times a day. So this is just what we know as of now. Again, I will continue to keep you updated with dedicated live streams and videos, everything like that.
That's just a
I will
quick
continue to keep you
update
updated
right
as we
there.
learn.
We'll be alive again soon in a few. A lot of shit going on in the news right now. I'm also live all the time on Kick. So I just wanted to put that update out there real quick because I did make a video saying food stamps would be here today on the 5th because they told me, I had from a credible source, that they were going to send out partial amount. Well, now I guess they got to update the computers. Allegedly, that's what they telling us. Yeah, they should have probably thought about that before they said Wednesday and all that. But like I said, this left and right shit is getting out of hand. Last time the freaking whole California lights up on fire. You got people arguing about left and right. Like, how can we not all agree on one thing? Like, freaking the whole California's on fire. Y'all ain't have no fire hydrants in California, one of the hottest areas in the world. because y'all wanted to save some fish from going extinct or some shit. They had all the fire hydrants off. Some crazy shit. I'm telling you, they gotta stop putting their minds together. A lot of this shit staged anyways, and knowledge is key. Y'all remember that. How's everybody doing today? Happy Wednesday. Birthday tomorrow. My birthday tomorrow on the 6th. Alright, everybody. That's a quick update. I'm out. We'll be live again in a few minutes. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit that sub button, actually, hit it right now. I want to see if my alert's working. If y'all in here and y'all haven't subbed yet, do me a favor and hit that sub button. Gang about